Have you ever noticed how some of the most powerful remedies are the ones hiding in plain sight? They're not flashy, they're not expensive, and they don't come in a bottle with a complicated label filled with words you can't pronounce. Instead, they're often things your grandmother or even great-grandmother used without hesitation. One of those remedies is castor oil. Now I know what you might be thinking. Castor oil? Isn't that the thick, sticky stuff people used back in the day when there weren't any real medicines around? Maybe you've even heard stories of parents giving it to their kids as some sort of punishment because of its strong taste. For a lot of people, castor oil sounds old-fashioned, like something that belongs in a dusty cabinet from the 1920s. But here's the twist. This humble oil, pressed from the seeds of the castor bean plant, has been quietly making waves in the world of health and natural remedies again. And the reason? People are starting to rediscover just how many surprising things it can do for your body, especially if you use it before bed. Think about it. We live in a time when everyone is chasing quick fixes. Pills, supplements, expensive serums, even strange wellness fads that barely last a year. But castor oil has survived centuries of use. Ancient civilizations used it. Doctors in the 1800s recommended it. And now, in our modern age, wellness communities online are buzzing about it again. So what's the deal? Why does this one oil have so much mystery around it? Well, here's where it gets interesting. When you use castor oil before bed, something special happens. It's like giving your body a natural reset button overnight. Some people swear their skin feels smoother and more hydrated. Others say their digestion improves. There are even folks who claim it helps them sleep better. And then, of course, there are the beauty enthusiasts who can't stop talking about what it does for eyelashes and hair growth. The more I looked into it, the more I realized that castor oil isn't just another natural oil. It's one of those remedies that touches so many different areas of health: skin, hair, digestion, circulation, even relaxation. And what makes it even more fascinating is that the best time to use it is often right before you go to bed. That way, your body can soak in all its goodness while you rest. Now let's pause for a second. If you're skeptical, that's perfectly fair. Castor oil sounds almost too good to be true. I mean, how can one oil possibly have so many benefits? But here's the thing. The more we study it, the more science is starting to back up some of these age-old uses. It's not magic, it's biology. Castor oil has a unique chemical structure, rich in something called ricinoleic acid, which gives it those anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and moisturizing properties. But here's what I love most about it. Castor oil is simple. It doesn't come with a 30-step instruction manual. You don't need fancy equipment or expensive skincare products to make it work. You can buy a bottle for a few dollars, apply it the right way before bed, and let it do its thing while you sleep. No stress, no effort, no complicated routines, and let's be real, who doesn't want something that works while you're sleeping? We spend nearly a third of our lives in bed, so why not make that time work for us? In this video, we're going to break everything down in detail. We'll look at what castor oil actually is, where it comes from, and why it's been trusted for centuries. Then, we'll explore what happens when you use it before bed, the real benefits you might notice in your skin, your hair, and even your internal health. I'll also share some tips on how to use it safely, because while castor oil is powerful, you definitely don't want to misuse it. By the end of this journey, you might just find yourself reaching for that little bottle every night before you go to sleep. And trust me, once you start noticing the changes, you'll wonder why you didn't start sooner. So buckle up, grab a cozy blanket, and let's dive into the world of castor oil. Because what happens to your body when you use this oil before bed might just surprise you in the best way possible. Before we get into all the amazing things that happen when you use castor oil before bed, let's pause and answer a very simple but important question. What exactly is castor oil? It's one of those things we've all heard about, maybe even seen in an old medicine cabinet, but not many people can actually explain what it is or why it works. So let's clear up the mystery. Castor oil comes from the seeds of the castor bean plant, scientifically called Ricinus communis. Now don't let the name bean fool you. It's not like the beans you eat in your chili or your salad. The castor bean is actually a seed, and when it's pressed, it releases this thick, pale yellow oil that's been used for thousands of years. Here's something fascinating. Even though the castor bean itself contains a very toxic compound called ricin, yes, the same dangerous substance you might have heard about in crime shows or spy stories, the oil itself is completely safe when properly extracted. That's because the dangerous ricin does not dissolve into the oil. What we're left with is a safe, natural product full of beneficial fatty acids. Most importantly, ricinoleic acid, which makes up about 90 of the oil, and it's this special fatty acid that gives castor oil its unique healing properties. Now, castor oil is thick. really thick. If you've ever tried to pour it, you know it doesn't flow like olive oil or sunflower oil. It moves slowly, almost like syrup, and it has a slightly sticky texture. That's one of the reasons people either love it or hate it. But here's the cool part. That thickness is actually one of its superpowers. It forms a protective layer on the skin and hair, locking in moisture, which is why so many people swear by it for dry skin and damaged hair. So what makes castor oil stand out from all the other oils out there? After all, there are dozens: coconut oil, argan oil, jojoba oil, almond oil. Why has castor oil become this legendary remedy, especially for nighttime use? The answer comes down to three main things. Its unique composition. Like I mentioned, ricinoleic acid is what makes castor oil special. This fatty acid has anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and circulation-boosting properties. It doesn't just sit on your skin, it interacts with your body on a deeper level. Its versatility: most oils are known for one main benefit. Coconut oil is mainly moisturizing, argan oil is great for hair shine, but castor oil, it covers skin, hair, digestion, circulation, even immune support. It's like a Swiss Army knife in a bottle. Its history of use: castor oil isn't a trend that popped up last year on TikTok. It's been used for thousands of years across different cultures, from ancient Egypt to India to Rome. That kind of staying power doesn't happen by accident. Let's zoom in a little. In the wellness world, there are two main types of castor oil you'll come across: cold-pressed castor oil and Jamaican black castor oil. Cold-pressed castor oil is made by pressing the seeds without heat, which preserves more of the natural nutrients. It's pale yellow and often recommended for skin and general wellness. Jamaican black castor oil, on the other hand, is made by roasting the seeds first. This gives the oil a darker color and a stronger smell. It's very popular in the beauty community, especially for hair growth, because people believe the roasting process adds extra nutrients. Both types are beneficial. Which one you choose depends on what you want to use it for and your personal preference. Here's another interesting fact. Castor oil isn't just used in health and beauty, it's also an industrial oil. It's in lubricants, soaps, paints, even plastics. That tells you something about just how versatile it really is. But don't worry, the castor oil you buy for health purposes is totally safe and specifically processed for human use. So when you look at that little bottle, what you're really holding is a powerhouse of natural chemistry. It's not some fancy lab-created serum. It's not loaded with artificial fragrances or preservatives. It's a simple oil made from a simple plant, but it carries an almost unbelievable amount of potential for your body. And that's what makes it so perfect for nighttime use. Think about it. When you go to bed, your body is in repair mode. Your skin cells regenerate. Your muscles relax. Your mind resets. Adding castor oil to that equation is like giving your body a helping hand while it's already doing its best work. But before we dive into how it actually helps overnight, it's worth taking a short detour into history. Because once you see how people have been using castor oil for centuries, sometimes in life or death situations, you'll start to understand why it's considered such a timeless remedy. And that, my friend, is exactly what we'll explore in the next chapter. When we talk about natural remedies, there's something really comforting about knowing that people have been using them for thousands of years. Think about it. Long before modern pharmacies, long before over-the-counter medicine aisles, people had to rely on plants, oils, and minerals to solve everyday health problems. And castor oil is one of those remedies that has stood the test of time. So let's rewind history a little bit and see where this thick golden oil first made its mark. Castor oil in ancient Egypt. If we go all the way back to ancient Egypt, around 4,000 years ago, we'll find some of the earliest recorded uses of castor oil. Egyptians were obsessed with health and beauty. They believed in the power of oils, herbs, and natural treatments. And castor oil, it was one of their favorites. Historians have found castor oil jars inside Egyptian tombs, which means people valued it so much that they wanted to take it with them into the afterlife. Pretty wild, right? But what did they use it for? First, as a fuel for lamps. Castor oil burns cleanly, and Egyptians used it to keep their homes and temples lit. Second, as medicine. Ancient Egyptian doctors prescribed castor oil as a laxative and for treating wounds. And of course, for beauty. Cleopatra herself is believed to have used castor oil to keep her eyes bright and her hair shiny. Even back then, people noticed that this oil had special moisturizing and soothing properties. Castor oil in ancient India. Moving over to India, castor oil became a staple in Ayurvedic medicine, a healing system that's been around for over 3,000 years. In Ayurveda, castor oil was seen as a heating oil, used to balance certain energies in the body. They applied it for joint pain and inflammation, digestive health, skin conditions, and even as a cleansing agent for the body during detox rituals. In fact, Ayurveda still recommends castor oil today for things like constipation relief and cleansing the digestive system. That's how deeply rooted it is in traditional Indian medicine. Castor oil in ancient Rome and Greece. Fast forward to the Roman Empire and ancient Greece. castor oil shows up again. Physicians like Hippocrates, the father of medicine, recommended castor oil for healing wounds and easing digestive issues. Roman soldiers even carried it with them during campaigns, using it for everything from sore muscles to cuts and scrapes. For them, castor oil wasn't exotic or mysterious. It was simply a reliable tool. The Middle Ages and beyond, as time went on, castor oil traveled across the world through trade routes. By the Middle Ages, it was used in Europe, often as a remedy for constipation, skin ailments, and even childbirth support. Midwives sometimes used castor oil to help induce labor, a practice that actually continued well into the 20th century. And here's an interesting twist. Castor oil was also used spiritually. Some cultures believed the oil had protective powers and could ward off evil. Whether or not you believe in that side of things, it shows just how highly people valued it. Castor oil in the 1800s and early 1900s. Fast forward again to more modern history. In the 1800s, castor oil became a household name in Europe and the United States. Parents gave it to their children for tummy troubles, colds, and just about any illness. Sometimes it was even used as a cure-all tonic. And yes, this is where some of the less pleasant stories come in. If you talk to older generations, you'll sometimes hear them laugh or grimace about being forced to swallow a spoonful of castor oil as kids. It wasn't exactly a fun experience. The taste is pretty strong and not exactly delicious, but it was a trusted home remedy. In fact, castor oil was so common that it was even used in politics. Believe it or not, during the early 20th century in Italy, some groups actually forced their enemies to drink castor oil as a form of punishment. It wasn't lethal, but it definitely caused a very unpleasant day. So yeah, castor oil has a colorful history, to say the least. What all this history tells us now? Why am I sharing all this history with you? Because it proves something important. Castor oil isn't a passing trend. It's not like some new supplement that just hit the shelves last year. This is an oil that has been trusted across cultures, across continents, and across centuries. Whenever we see a remedy survive for this long, there's usually a good reason for it. People don't keep using something for thousands of years unless it really works. And castor oil? It really works. And here's the best part. While people have been using it for ages, modern research is finally starting to explain why. We now know that ricinoleic acid is the powerhouse behind many of these benefits. We know that its thick texture helps lock in moisture. And we know that its antimicrobial properties explain why it was so good for wounds and infections. So when you put a few drops of castor oil on your skin before bed, you're not just following a random trend, you're joining a tradition that goes back thousands of years. In the next chapter, we'll finally get to the juicy part. What actually happens when you use castor oil before bed? Because history is fascinating, but what you really want to know is, what can this oil do for you tonight? Alright, so now that we've explored what castor oil is and how people have used it throughout history, it's time to answer the question you've probably been waiting for. What actually happens when you use castor oil before bed? This is where things get exciting because nighttime is when your body is already in repair mode. Your skin cells regenerate faster, your digestive system resets, and your nervous system winds down. By applying castor oil before bed, you're not fighting against the day, you're working with your body's natural rhythm. Let's break it down. 1. Your skin drinks. The first thing most people notice when they start using castor oil at night is how their skin feels the next morning. Because castor oil is so thick and rich in fatty acids, it creates a kind of barrier on your skin. That barrier does two things: prevents moisture loss. You know how some creams just sit on top of your skin and disappear by morning? Castor oil doesn't. It locks in hydration like a protective shield. Feeds your skin nutrients. Ricinoleic acid and other fatty acids don't just sit there. They actually nourish your skin, helping it repair itself overnight. So when you wake up, instead of dry or dull skin, you'll notice a smoother, plumper texture. Some people even say it gives them a little glow, like they've just had a facial. And here's a bonus. If you deal with breakouts, redness, or irritation, castor oil's natural anti-inflammatory properties may calm things down while you sleep. 2. Fine lines and wrinkles? They look softer. No, castor oil isn't Botox. But used consistently before bed, it can help reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. How? 2 reasons. It's incredibly hydrating, and hydrated skin always looks younger and smoother. It may stimulate collagen and elastin production proteins that keep your skin firm and bouncy. That's why some people like to dab a little castor oil under their eyes before bed. By morning, puffiness may be reduced and the skin looks more refreshed. 3. Your hair and brows get stronger. Let's talk beauty for a second. One of the most popular uses of castor oil before bed is for hair growth. People apply it to their scalp, eyebrows, and even eyelashes. Here's what happens overnight. Castor oil increases circulation to the area where it's applied. More blood flow means more nutrients delivered to hair follicles. The fatty acids deeply moisturize hair strands, reducing breakage. Its antimicrobial properties keep the scalp healthy, preventing issues like dandruff. This is why so many people swear their eyebrows and lashes look fuller after consistent nightly use. Now, it's not going to give you dramatic overnight results. It's more of a gradual, steady improvement. But over weeks and months, the difference can be noticeable. 4. It can soothe aches and pains. Now, here's where things get a little surprising. Some people apply castor oil packs, basically cloth soaked in castor oil placed on the skin, before bed to relieve aches and pains. Ricinoleic acid has anti-inflammatory properties, which means it can reduce swelling and discomfort. So if you put a warm castor oil pack on a sore muscle or achy joint at night, you may wake up feeling less stiff. It's not a miracle cure, of course, but it's a natural way to support your body's healing process while you sleep. 5. Your digestion might improve. This one is a little more old school, but it's worth mentioning. Traditionally, castor oil has been used as a laxative. Now, I'm not suggesting you chug a spoonful before bed. That's a bit extreme and not always pleasant. But even small, careful amounts may support digestion. Some people rub castor oil on their abdomen before sleep, claiming it helps with bloating or sluggish digestion. The warmth and absorption seem to encourage the digestive system to move things along. 6. It may help you sleep better. This one sounds almost too good to be true, but many people say castor oil makes them feel more relaxed when they use it before bed. Why? First, because applying it becomes a little bedtime ritual, and rituals tell your brain, okay, it's time to wind down. Second, ricinoleic acid may interact with certain receptors in your body that help reduce stress and promote relaxation. And third, the soothing sensation on your skin can just make you feel more comfortable. So while castor oil isn't exactly a sleeping pill, using it as part of your nightly routine may help you drift off more peacefully. 7. Detox and circulation boost. Another benefit people talk about is how castor oil packs can support the body's natural detox process. By improving circulation and stimulating lymphatic flow, castor oil may help your body clear out waste more efficiently overnight. Again, this isn't something you're going to feel instantly. It's more subtle, like waking up feeling lighter, less puffy, and just overall refreshed. Say 8. The morning after glow. At the end of the day, the most obvious thing you'll notice after using castor oil before bed is simply this. You wake up looking and feeling better, your skin feels softer, your hair looks shinier, your body feels a little more relaxed. It's not about dramatic overnight transformations, it's about small, consistent improvements that add up over time. And the best part? You didn't have to spend hundreds of dollars on fancy treatments, you just used a simple natural oil while you slept. A word of caution, of course, we can't forget, castor oil is powerful. A little goes a long way. If you use too much, especially on your skin, it can feel sticky or clog pores. And if you take too much internally, it can cause unpleasant digestive effects. So the golden rule is, start small, be consistent, and listen to your body. Let's be honest, when most people first hear about castor oil, they immediately think of skincare. And it makes sense, our skin is the first thing we notice in the mirror every morning. It's also the first line of defense against everything in the environment, the sun, pollution, dust, stress, you name it. So when we talk about what happens to your body when you use castor oil before bed, your skin is one of the places where you'll see the most obvious changes. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that castor oil is some magical potion that will erase every wrinkle overnight. But what I can tell you is that if you use it consistently before bed, it can make a huge difference in how your skin looks and feels. Let's break it down. 1. Deep moisturization. While you sleep. Here's the thing, your skin is naturally repairing itself at night. That's why dermatologists always say your bedtime skincare routine is the most important one. And this is where castor oil shines. Because castor oil is so thick and rich, it doesn't just sit on top of your skin like a light cream might. It sinks in slowly, delivering fatty acids that nourish your skin while forming a protective barrier that keeps all the good stuff locked in. So when you wake up in the morning, your skin feels hydrated, plump, and soft instead of tight, dry, or flaky. For people with dry patches, especially in winter, this can be a game changer. 2. A natural remedy for acne and blemishes. This one surprises a lot of people. You'd think applying a thick oil to your face would make acne worse, right? But in the case of castor oil, the opposite can happen. Here's why. Antimicrobial properties. Castor oil has natural antimicrobial effects that can help keep acne-causing bacteria in check. Anti-inflammatory properties. Red, angry pimples can calm down overnight with the soothing touch of ricinoleic acid, moisturizing without clogging. While it's thick, it actually has a low comedogenic rating, which means it's less likely to clog pores compared to other oils. Of course, everyone's skin is different. Some people's faces love it, while others may find it too heavy. That's why a little patch test is always smart. But for many, castor oil applied before bed can help reduce breakouts and fade blemishes over time. 3. Reducing redness and inflammation. If you have sensitive skin, rosacea, or just get irritated easily, castor oil might feel like a soothing blanket for your face at night. Its anti-inflammatory nature makes it great for calming redness and irritation. It's almost like pressing a reset button for your skin. You go to bed with irritation, and you wake up with calmer, more even-looking skin. 4. Soothing dry spots and cracked skin. Castor oil isn't just for your face. You can use it on elbows, knees, heels, and hands, all those places that tend to dry out, especially overnight. If you've ever woken up with cracked heels or rough hands, try massaging a little castor oil into those areas before bed and putting on socks or gloves. By morning, you'll feel a dramatic difference. 5. Helping with fine lines and wrinkles. Let's be clear, castor oil isn't a miracle anti-aging solution, but what it can do is keep your skin hydrated, supple, and elastic, which makes fine lines look less noticeable. Think of it like this. Dry skin exaggerates wrinkles. Hydrated skin softens them. And since castor oil helps maintain that deep hydration overnight, it can make you look more refreshed and youthful in the morning. Some people even use it as an under-eye treatment. A tiny dab before bed can reduce puffiness and soften the appearance of lines under the eyes. 6. Fading scars and stretch marks over time. This is a longer-term benefit, but many people use castor oil at night to help with scars, stretch marks, and even uneven skin tone. How does it help? It promotes cell regeneration, it improves circulation, which brings more nutrients to the skin. It softens and nourishes scar tissue, making it less noticeable. It's not going to erase scars overnight, but with consistent nightly use, you may start noticing your skin texture improving little by little. 7. Supporting wound healing. Here's a cool scientific fact. Some studies suggest that castor oil can actually speed up the healing of wounds. Its antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties create a better environment for your skin to repair itself. So if you have small cuts, scratches, or irritated spots, applying castor oil before bed may help them heal faster while you sleep. 8. A natural lip balm. Let's not forget your lips. If you struggle with chapped lips, castor oil can double as a natural lip balm. Apply a thin layer before bed and you'll wake up with soft, smooth lips, no more peeling or cracking. In fact, if you look at the ingredients list on many commercial lip balms, you'll often see castor oil right there. That's how effective it is. 9. How to use it safely for skin at night. Okay, so now that we know what castor oil can do for your skin, let's talk about how to actually use it. Here are some tips. Start small. You really don't need much. Just a few drops go a long way. Mix it. If you find it too thick, mix castor oil with a lighter oil like jojoba or almond oil before applying. Patch test. Always test on a small area first to make sure your skin likes it. Focus on problem areas. Instead of slathering it all over your face, start with dry patches, scars, or fine lines. And remember, consistency is key. One night won't transform your skin, but using it regularly can bring gradual, long-lasting improvements. When people talk about castor oil in the beauty world, one of the biggest claims you'll hear is it makes your hair grow like crazy. Now, is that true? Well, let's dig in. The truth is, castor oil has built quite a reputation for supporting hair, brows, and even eyelashes, especially when used at night. And honestly, it makes perfect sense. Think about it. Nighttime is when your body goes into repair mode. Your scalp relaxes, your hair follicles reset, and your skin absorbs treatments more deeply. So if you're going to use castor oil for beauty purposes, bedtime is hands down the best time to do it. 1. Why castor oil helps. Hair castor oil isn't just any oil. Its ricinoleic acid content makes it a standout when it comes to hair health. Here's why. Improved circulation. When massaged into the scalp, castor oil helps increase blood flow. That means more oxygen and nutrients delivered straight to your hair follicles. Moisturizing power, its thick, rich texture locks in moisture, preventing dryness and breakage. Antimicrobial benefits. A healthy scalp is the foundation of healthy hair. Castor oil fights off bacteria and fungus that can cause dandruff or clogged follicles. So while it's not some magical potion that'll transform your hair overnight, it does create the perfect environment for stronger, healthier, thicker hair to grow over time. 2. Castor oil for the scalp. If your scalp feels itchy, flaky, or irritated, massaging in a small amount of castor oil before bed can help. It calms inflammation, moisturizes dry areas, and keeps the scalp balanced. Here's a little nighttime ritual you can try. Warm a teaspoon of castor oil between your hands. Massage it gently into your scalp for 5-10 minutes. Put a soft towel or a shower cap over your pillow to avoid mess. Wash it out in the morning. Do this a couple of times a week, and over time you may notice stronger roots, less shedding, and an overall healthier scalp. 3. Castor oil for eyebrows. Let's talk brows. In the age of thick, bold eyebrows, castor oil has become a secret weapon for many people trying to regrow overplucked brows. Before bed, take a cotton swab or a clean mascara wand, dip it into castor oil, and gently apply it to your eyebrows. Overnight, the oil nourishes the hair follicles, strengthens the tiny hairs, and encourages growth. Now, you're not going to wake up with Cara Delevingne brows after one night, but with consistent nightly use, many people see their brows looking fuller and healthier in just a few weeks. 4. Castor oil for eyelashes. Eyelashes are another area where castor oil gets a lot of attention. Because the oil is so rich and nourishing, it can strengthen your lashes and reduce breakage. That means your natural lashes may grow longer over time simply because they're not falling out as easily. Here's how to use it safely. Dip a clean cotton swab or lash brush into a tiny bit of castor oil. Carefully apply it to your lashes right at the base, but make sure not to get it into your eyes. Sleep with it on and wash it off in the morning. The key here is tiny amounts. A little goes a long way, and you don't want to wake up with greasy eyes. 5. Tackling split ends and dry strands. Even if you're not focused on growth, castor oil can still be a lifesaver for dry, damaged, or frizzy hair. Applying a small amount to your ends before bed can help seal split ends and reduce frizz by morning. Some people even use it as an overnight hair mask. Mix castor oil with a lighter oil like coconut or argan. Massage into your scalp and smooth through the lengths. Wash it out the next day for softer, shinier hair. 6. Realistic expectations. Let's pause for a reality check. Will castor oil suddenly give you Rapunzel-length hair overnight? No. But here's what it can realistically do when used before bed consistently over time. Strengthen your existing hair so it breaks less. Keep your scalp healthier, which supports new growth. Make your brows and lashes look fuller by nourishing the tiny hairs. Add shine and softness to your strands. So, the real magic isn't in instant results, it's in steady improvements that add up week after week. 7. Safety tips. Because you'll be using it so close to your eyes and scalp, here are a few things to keep in mind. Always use pure cold-pressed castor oil that's safe for skin and hair. Start small. Too much can feel sticky or heavy. Be careful not to get it directly in your eyes. If it happens, rinse thoroughly with water. Protect your pillowcase with a towel or silk scarf. Up until now, we've talked a lot about what castor oil can do for your skin, hair, and beauty routines. But here's the thing. Some of the most fascinating benefits of castor oil happen on the inside of your body. That's right, using castor oil before bed can also influence your digestion, detox, immune health, and even your sleep quality. Now let's break it down in simple, practical terms. 1. Castor oil as a natural laxative. Okay, let's start with the most well-known internal use, digestion. For centuries, castor oil has been used as a natural laxative. In fact, it's one of the oldest remedies for occasional constipation. Here's how it works. The ricinoleic acid in castor oil gets absorbed in your intestines. It stimulates your bowel muscles, encouraging movement. As a result, your body is able to push things along a little faster. Now, here's the key. You don't need much. In fact, a very small amount can be powerful. People who take castor oil internally usually feel the effects within 6 to 12 hours. That's why many recommend taking it at night so by morning, your body naturally resets. Of course, this isn't something to use every day. Think of it more as a gentle, occasional helper when your system needs a little nudge. 2. Supporting liver and detox function. Here's something you might not know. Castor oil packs, when applied to the skin over the liver area, are often used in natural health practices to support detoxification. Why before bed? Because nighttime is when your liver is most active in cleansing the blood and filtering out toxins. By applying castor oil over your liver with a warm compress, some practitioners believe it stimulates lymphatic flow and encourages the body's natural detox process. It's not a miracle cure, but many people report feeling lighter, less bloated, and more energetic after a few nights of this routine. 3. Castor oil and sleep quality. This one is fascinating. Have you ever had nights where your mind just won't shut off? Well, castor oil might actually help. Some people rub a little castor oil on specific areas like the eyelids, temples, or even the soles of their feet before bed. Why? Because the oil has a deeply soothing, grounding effect. It moisturizes the skin, but more than that, many believe it helps calm the nervous system. Is it the ricinoleic acid working its magic, or maybe just the relaxing ritual of massaging oil before sleep? We don't know for sure, but countless people say they fall asleep easier and wake up feeling more rested when they add castor oil into their nighttime routine. 4. Supporting the immune system. Here's where things get really interesting. Some research suggests that castor oil may stimulate the body's lymphatic system, the network responsible for removing waste, fighting infections, and keeping your immune system strong. When applied topically, especially before bed, castor oil seems to increase lymphocyte activity. These are the white blood cells that defend you against invaders like viruses and bacteria. So in theory, giving your lymphatic system that extra push at night may help your body fight off colds, recover faster, and maintain stronger immunity over time. 5. Menstrual relief and pain management. For women, castor oil packs can also provide relief from menstrual cramps. Applying warm castor oil over the lower abdomen before bed can ease tension, reduce inflammation, and improve blood flow. The same goes for joint or muscle pain. Castor oil has anti-inflammatory properties, and when you let it sit overnight, it penetrates deeper into tissues, providing gentle relief. 6. The mind-body connection. Here's something I love about castor oil. It's not just physical, there's a strong mind-body connection with this practice. When you apply castor oil before bed, whether it's on your skin, scalp, or stomach, you're sending your body a signal. It's time to slow down, rest, and heal. This ritual becomes more than just self-care. It turns into a nightly reminder to pause, breathe, and allow your body to recover. And in today's world of constant stress, that might be one of the most important benefits of all. 7. A word of caution. Of course, we need to keep it real. While castor oil has all these amazing properties, it's not for everyone. Here are a few important safety notes. If you're pregnant, avoid taking castor oil internally unless directed by a doctor. It can sometimes stimulate contractions. Don't overdo it with internal use. Too much castor oil can cause cramping, diarrhea, and dehydration. Always test a small patch of skin first before applying large amounts, just in case you're sensitive. Remember, natural doesn't always mean harmless. Used wisely, though, castor oil is incredibly powerful. By now, you probably feel like castor oil is a miracle in a bottle. It helps your skin, supports your hair, calms your body, and may even help you sleep better. But let's be real, castor oil is thick, sticky, and messy if you don't know how to handle it. So, if you're planning to add it into your nighttime routine, let's talk about how to actually do it without ruining your pillowcases or overloading your skin. 1. Choosing the right castor oil. First things first, quality matters. Not all castor oil is created equal. Look for cold-pressed, and this means the oil was extracted without heat, so it keeps more of its nutrients. Hexane-free, some cheap oils are extracted using chemicals. You don't want that. Organic, always a safer choice when you're putting something on your skin or near your eyes. If the label says 100 pure castor oil, you're good to go. 2. Less is more. Here's the thing about castor oil, a little goes a long way. Because it's so thick, you only need a drop or two for small areas like your eyelashes, brows, or under the eyes. For your scalp or skin, start with a teaspoon at most. Using too much can actually make things harder. You'll end up greasy, uncomfortable, and constantly worried about staining your sheets, so keep it simple. 3. Application tips for nighttime use. Let's go over some easy, mess-free ways to use it before bed. For the face, after cleansing, dab a tiny amount onto problem areas, like dry patches, fine lines, or under the eyes. Massage it in gently. For the scalp, warm a teaspoon of oil between your hands and massage it into your scalp for 5 to 10 minutes. Cover your hair with a shower cap or towel, then wash it out in the morning. For lashes and brows, dip a clean cotton swab or mascara wand into the oil. Brush it lightly onto your lashes and brows, avoiding the eyes. For pain relief or detox, apply castor oil to the area, like your stomach or joints. Place a soft cloth over it and add a heating pad or hot water bottle. Relax for 30 minutes or even overnight if comfortable. 4. Protecting your sheets and pillows. Let's be honest, no one wants to wake up with oil stains all over their bedding. Here's how to avoid it. Sleep with an old pillowcase or cover your pillow with a towel. Wrap your hair with a silk scarf if you're using it on your scalp. If you're applying it to your body, slip on a soft cotton shirt or pajama top to keep the oil in place. These small steps will save you a lot of laundry headaches. 5. How often should you use it? This depends on your goals. For skincare, 3 to 4 nights a week is plenty. For hair or scalp, once or twice a week is usually enough. For lashes and brows, daily use is fine, but keep it minimal. For digestion or detox, only occasionally and never without listening to your body's response. Remember, consistency beats quantity. It's not about drowning yourself in oil, it's about using it steadily over time. 6. Safety precautions. Even natural remedies require common sense. Here are a few important safety tips. Always do a patch test before trying castor oil on large areas of skin. Don't get it directly in your eyes. If it happens, rinse immediately with plenty of water. Internal use should be rare and measured. Too much can lead to cramping and dehydration. If you're pregnant or nursing, talk to your doctor before using castor oil internally. We've covered a lot of ground in this journey with castor oil, from skin and hair care to digestion, sleep, and even pain relief. This humble oil has shown us just how versatile it can be, but before we wrap up, let's bring everything together in a way that's practical and easy to remember. 1. Start small, stay consistent. The biggest mistake people make is expecting instant miracles. Castor oil isn't a magic wand, it's a gentle, steady helper. The key is consistency. A few drops at night, a few times a week, can do far more for you than overloading once and giving up. 2. Make it a ritual. Think of castor oil as more than just an oil. It's a ritual of self-care. When you apply it before bed, you're not just nourishing your body, you're sending yourself a message. It's time to slow down, relax, and heal. That simple pause can make bedtime feel sacred, not rushed. 3. Keep it mess-free. Protect your pillow with a towel. Use old pajamas. Wrap your hair in a scarf if needed. These tiny hacks make the difference between enjoying castor oil and dreading it. 4. Know your goals. Want glowing skin? Apply a thin layer 3-4 nights a week. Want fuller brows or lashes? Use a swab or brush daily. Want stronger hair? Massage into the scalp once or twice a week. Want better sleep or pain relief? Try a warm castor oil pack on your abdomen or joints before bed. When you're clear on your goal, it's easier to stay motivated. 5. Respect its strength. Castor oil is natural, but it's also powerful. Always do a patch test, avoid overuse, and be careful with internal use. Listen to your body. If something doesn't feel right, ease up, wrapping it all up. So what really happens when you use castor oil before bed? Your skin feels softer, your hair looks stronger, your brows and lashes grow healthier, your digestion and sleep may improve, and maybe most importantly, you end your day with a simple act of self-care that tells your body, I'm taking care of you. In a world full of expensive products and complicated routines, sometimes the simplest solutions are the most powerful, and castor oil is proof of that. So grab a bottle, start small, and let the results speak for themselves. Sweet dreams, and here's to waking up every morning feeling just a little healthier inside and out.